Awesome stuff. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
And he comes and spends all the money.
Spends the money. In your face, chicken.
Where are my 500,000? Oh my God.
Face, chickens.
What did you buy? all the other fields, or what?
I bought the BGA.
Ah, okay.
And I paid off the loan.
For the silage.
Things been harvested.
Yeah, I put some millet in the silo. And the rest I sold.
He likes doing the squishing.
It's going much better with the loading wagon, I can tell you.
So how did you empty it all out to sell it?
Huh? I did it with the loading wagon and the rest with the wheel loader.
Didn't lease a mouse then. That would have made life easy.
Yeah, you can do it, yeah. I mean, it's a little bit, yeah. It's not so easy to do it with a loading wagon, to say the least. Because it gets stuck in the beginning when you try to load it.
Something gets stuck in Farm Sim? I would never have believed that.
Yeah. Such a great game.
Never have believed that.
Like in the flight simulator, the planes get stuck in the air. They get stuck in the clouds. That would be Farm Sim in the air.
My planes tend to get stuck in buildings.
I have a colleague who bought the premium version for his son. He says, does he have a joystick or something? Yeah, he has a joystick, but he doesn't have a throttle. No, he doesn't. I said, you know what? I still have a Cytec X52 Pro. I can give it to him for free. So I bring it in the office on Friday for his son. And at least he can do some rudder action by twisting the joystick and using the throttles, it's probably more fun. And get the gear up and down with some buttons.
Yeah, I've been using my Xbox controller. playing
It's
it.
probably working.
It's very basic controls. You don't have all the functionality on the controller,
Yeah.
obviously. There's a lot missing.
I mean, if you want it realistic, you have to buy some yoke, some gas pedals, and some levers for trimming, and some pedals. If they are available right now, it seems nothing is available. I think all these manufacturers of this gear, are they surprised that people want to buy stuff when the new SIM is coming out?
Well,
I mean,
I watched a video on YouTube the other day where a guy was sent, a YouTuber was sent Flight Sim by Microsoft. They sent him a copy of the game, and they also sent him a box with a yoke, pedals, throttles, and everything in it. And I'm like, flipping heck, the guy's not had to buy anything.
Yeah. And they can hardly appreciate what they get.
Like, well, imagine if he doesn't actually play the game.
I mean, there was a guy who's doing an unboxing of the honeycomb yoke.
That was the one that the guy got sent. Yeah, the honeycomb yoke. He
And
got
then-
the
and then he
Logitech
was-
throttles, and then he got somebody Thrustmaster pedals. I think this
And
guy
then
got.
he was looking at it, and there was a little LAN cable,
Little LAN
screw
cable, yeah, which
coming
won't
out,
connect to anything.
Where does it go? Where does it? The asshole! It goes into the yoke, yeah. It goes into the steering stuff, yeah. Yeah, and it has some spiral because you pull it out and put it in, and you have some buttons that have to go into this case somehow, yeah. Not through the steel rod, yeah? It's going through this cable. So, but he didn't even read the instructions before he discussed it with the people.
He was like, "Oh, it must be for some kind of expansion. Must be like another peripheral, but it won't have a lot of room. You won't be able to mount it to the side." He says, because the cable's too short. You'd have to mount it below. He says.
Absolutely. I commented the video, and I got also some positive feedback about my comment because I said, wasn't it obvious that it goes into the yoke itself, into the steering stuff? It was so obvious. Where else would it go? Just look, is there a hole to plug it in?
Well, I think the guy I watched, he was more known for being a sim racer, for playing racing games.
Yeah,
so the LAN cables on racing wheels connect your pedals and stuff to the steering wheel. And they connect like shifters to the steering wheel, and they connect handbrakes to the steering wheel. So he was expecting.
And I have no idea about a yoke, but I still thought at the first second that it probably plugs into that steering because it's not connected. It has some buttons, some that you press for trimming or for flaps or whatever. Am I stuck now?
Mr. Helge's stuck.
It's me again. It really compresses it, this loading.
Look how much you've spilt out the front though.
Yeah, can't be avoided. Can't be avoided. 88%. So now I'm emptying it.
But yeah, I've been having I was having a few issues with Flight Sim on my PC.
Well, at least you can play it with your system.
Yeah, it doesn't look great though, I'll be honest. I was expecting a lot more of the graphics. There's very few real-world locations that have been completely detailed mapped.
But even with my system, I don't expect much, really, to be...
Your graphics card's better than mine.
But I mean, I saw a guy who has the same configuration, and he plays with high-end sort of. Get some 25 to 30 frames. Yeah, but I don't want to play high-end sort of. I want to have a little bit more than that. A little bit into the ultra. Or ultra with some pound turning and other stuff.
Well, when I loaded the game up the first time, after it took like 8 hours to download and install, the game automatically set itself to high end based on my system.
Yeah.
What it detected it, so it set the game to high end, which I went in and I played, and I was getting, you know, solid 60 FPS, no problem. It was all looking very good. I then came out of the game, and obviously GeForce Experience, they've had the driver update for Flight Sim this week. GeForce Experience wants to set everything to like freaking low.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I've played it on high end, and I've played it okay, so I'm going to leave it on high end. But then last night I went in and tried to set the textures for the terrain and the buildings and stuff to ultra, see if I could make the stuff look nicer and make my house look prettier, but it didn't seem to have any effect. So I think that only takes effect of when you're in one of the actual...
I'm sitting on the hill now. Push me.
When you're in one of those real-world locations.
You see, this is unrealistic that it's stuck. It's getting stuck in the middle of...
Give you a push in a minute. Let me just empty this bucket.
And when my colleague said that he bought the sim for his son, I said, okay, what is his monitor? I mean, he's still maybe 12 years old, or 10, the son. I said, he's got the medium required spec, what according to Microsoft. I said, but Microsoft, the settings that Microsoft tells you as the highest setting is on my point of view the minimum requirement, which is exactly my system. Yeah? That's what they say.
I'm trying to push you.
Yeah, it's these mountains are very like a peak.
Going backwards?
They are.
I'm going backwards.
I'm trying to get backwards.
Come on, I'm trying to push you.
I'm trying to get back. Maybe you have to lift me with the shovel. Lift me up a little bit, if you can.
I'll turn. There you go.
Oh,
there you
look
go.
at this mountain. Look at these hills.
That's just where I've just tipped after scooping all the stuff out the front.
But it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be so sharp on the top. %. Did you tip your trailer? Or your loading wagon?
I sold it.
Okay.
Sold the straw as I come past the cow place. I'll try and squash it under my feet.
Yeah, yeah. Well, excellent. 700,000, wow. That will be a lot of money. That will be about 700,000. If you're lucky.
I would expect more than that for compost, wouldn't I?
No? Yeah, I think it must be double, maybe 1.4 million.
The highest price at the moment is 1,827. So that's just under 2,000. So it's nearly double.
1,900 something.
So I'm expecting probably 1.2 million.
Yeah, more than a million. Very good. It's a good source of income. Just for straw. But it was a lot of work, I can tell you. Come on, the last percentage. Come on, give me the last one.
100%.
100. Before I can move it again. Very good. Very good.
What requires doing? Well,
Now
lots of
you
fields need
should buy this
harvesting.
mouse. You wanted to buy a mouse? Whatever that is. Beep, beep.
Nothing needs ploughing, nothing needs lime, everything just needs fertilising and waiting.
Yeah, field 7, 8, 9, 17. 14 is okay. Grass. Well, we can do some cultivating where you want. Maybe we can have some corn on field 78 or so.
Yeah?
I would do the cultivating after you fertilized it.
A lot of fertiliser.
Let's eat some food maybe. Cows, horses.
Horses must be getting towards being sellable. Oh, there mustn't there?
75%.
That'll bring in quite a bit of money too.
Rambo, 75,000. Is that price for these? They go up to 200,000.
Yeah. Horses are worth a few quid.
Yeah. I really hope next month that the, what is it? Oh my God, dogs outside. I really hope that next month the NVIDIA latest graphics card comes out.
Yeah. Nice to
And
see.
then prices drop.
Yeah, see what happens to the prices of everything else.
I'm not sure.
I hope the 20 series.
Do you think that a 3080 would fit in my computer? I don't think so.
Should do. Don't see why it
People
wouldn't.
have people that have such high graphics cards in. They have 1300 megawatt, 1300 watt power system. I have 750 only.
You should have plenty. 750. Depends what else you're running off the power supply, like how many hard drives and things like that you're running, but
not really that much.
Most the modern graphics cards, like the 2080 and stuff, the 2000, like the RTXs and stuff, they're quite power efficient. They don't need as much power as people think, unless you're running systems with loads and loads of extra things in the case, like multiple hard drives, loads of different fans and lighting, and
no.
You know, a good quality power supply will be able to supply more than enough power. You know, I mean, I've only got a 650 watt, and that would be enough to power.
I might think about maybe a good 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte SSD just for the flight simulator?
Yeah, worth having.
Might be. I
'Cause
mean,
of
I have a
all
1
the
terabyte SSD, which I could utilize, but
data that they're constantly downloading and streaming, the cache as they call it in the game, the cache. How
yeah,
much cache space do you want to allocate to Microsoft Flight
I mean,
Sim?
at 1 terabyte SSD, how much is it? $100? 200?
Yeah, about that. About that.
And
Good Samsung, like Samsung Evo, something like that, would be around that price, easy. I don't know about Western Digital Black SSDs.
but the question is, do you need is there a difference in speed of the different makes?
Yeah, there's different speeds between the different manufacturers. Some SSDs read and write faster than others. Samsung tend to be the fastest of the lot. Whereas what other manufacturers do then, because they don't have the speeds, they tend to go for longevity and say that theirs will last, theirs will perform more read and write operations before the drive eventually packs up.
So what?
But to be honest, I've got all Samsung SSDs in my PC. It's what I've always used, and I've never had an issue with any of them. They're all going strong.
I mean, I have the 500 megabyte for my C drive SSD.
Yeah.
And now I have a terabyte SSD and I have a 2 terabyte normal hard disk. But most programs I like Steam, I install on the terabyte SSD, but I fear that if I add the flight simulator to it, it's a little bit stressed out or too much. So
Flight Sim is a little bit naughty. I'll be honest. When that installs, it's a little bit naughty in that it installs the game and everything to whatever drive you ask it to install to in Steam. So for me, I installed it on my H drive, which is just a blank SSD that just has games on it. However, when I booted up the game and started running the game, it was downloading all its map information and scenery information, all that, to my C drive. In the users app data folder.
Okay.
So I was like, I need to change that very quickly because I don't have any room on my C drive. My C drive literally just has Windows on it and that's it. It's you know. So I was like, no, if you're going to be downloading map data and stuff like that, you need to install it on my Steam drive. So I was able to go into the Flight Sim settings and change that.
The cache area.
Yeah, the cache area, and move it to my H drive, because I was like, I don't want it saving anything into my user folder on my PC, my app data, my C drive.
Yeah,
definitely.
For example, you install the game on this drive and then you say, okay, you have another 500 gigabyte for map cache.
Yeah.
You can also manually.
You can manually set the cache size, depending on how much space you've got left. So
you can select manually areas of the map that you want to cache.
You can. However, that then disables the other streaming and downloading.
Okay.
So you either have the normal streaming and downloading, which then streams and downloads the data as you're doing the flying, or if you're only going to be flying around a certain area, you can go and manually download parts of that.
But then you can't use any other areas.
Yes, that's one of the things I ran into straight away. Yeah.
That's not so good. Maybe they fix that sometime. I mean, you have to manage each individual system, so that's not so easy. That it doesn't additionally download the already stored area, which is not so easy.
Yeah, it would be nice if the game did its normal streaming, had its normal streaming cache, and then you could go in and add manually download extra bits in higher detail that you want.
It doesn't have to be downloaded additionally,
because that would have been quite nice, because obviously you could have your manual streaming then for when you're flying all over the world, but then if there's certain parts of the world you like flying in, like for me, I like flying around my town and that, I want to have that downloaded in ultra high detail, but I can't. I've got to have one or the other.
Okay.
But like you say, maybe it's something that they might change in the future. Because obviously this game's going to be supported for quite a long time, I would imagine. Lots of updates and stuff. VR. Yeah,
Steam, you can obviously tell Steam to save the stuff on a different drive. You can have several areas for Steam libraries.
Yeah.
Which is good. And that I would probably have an extra SSD for that.
I think I've got a Steam library on every single one of my hard drives apart from the C drive. So I've got games installed on, I think, 6 of the 7 hard drives that I have in my PC.
Yeah, I don't have that many.
The only thing
about the power usage, I was saying that depending on how much they charge you for a 3080 Ti, that would be a great graphics card for that game. You then say, okay, if it's maybe 1600, would be a reasonable price. Maybe it's worth buying that one instead of a 2080 Ti.
Yeah, it depends what the price point is of the 30. If the 3080 comes out at about the same price point that the 2080s are now, you might as well get a 3080 rather than a cheaper 2080.
Yeah, depending what the testers say, how the graphics card is.
Yeah.
If it's only about 10 or 20% faster, but I guess it's much more faster.
I mean, I was looking at things yesterday like, what is it, the 2070 Super graphics cards NVIDIA do.
They are 700 or something? 800?
Yeah. I found one website that was doing the 2070 Super for $549.
Yeah, good.
And I was like, wow, you could get 2 of those and you could SLI them, and that would still be cheaper than a 2080.
Yeah. Except that maybe the 2080 goes down in price, but then these graphics cards go down in price as well. So it's definitely worth waiting for the 3080 to come out and see what the prices do.
Something else I did last night, which was very stupid, I updated my BIOS.
Why was it stupid?
Well, because I lost all my settings, like all my overclock settings and everything.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have any overclocking right now.
So I couldn't remember what I'd got it set as, so I've kind of tried to wing it, and I've been testing the PC all day to make sure it's stable and it's not going to blue screen or anything. The only thing is, since doing the update, it seems to run a lot hotter. It seems to be a lot higher temperatures now. I don't know why that is. Yeah, quite a bit.
I was always reluctant to do overclocking with my PCs because it really doesn't give you that much performance.
Well, I don't know. My graphics cards, my CPU's gone from 3600 megahertz to 48. And my ram's gone from 3600 megahertz speed up to 42. So that's quite a bit of performance gain, speed gain. I noticed it more when I did a bit of rendering last night, just quickly. I opened up Vegas and did a quick video. Just rendered a quick video to see how long the render time was. I was quite impressed. It did like a 35-minute video in 20 minutes. Normally anything less than 1:1 is tremendous. Normally it's a video takes the same amount of time to render as it is in duration. More often than not, it takes longer to render than the video actually is. So the fact that I was able to render the video 15 minutes faster than the actual length of the video, I was quite pleased with that. I'm going to do... Mr. Hoagie's going to cultivate field 78. So field 9 is now ready for some seeding. Seed.
Or planting if you want.
Seed.
Maybe do some sunflowers in there.
I'm just going to move this harvester. Study. Take it back to the farm. Yeah, I might put some sunflowers on field 9 because I don't think we've got any sunflowers, have we? We haven't got any in our little factory building, so we're not making any sunflower oil at the minute. Why did my... That seems weird. Ace, go come after the wheel loader. Thoozled. Oh, thoozled I am. Sunflowers.
The terabyte SSD that I installed, I think, was some time ago. These things are so small.
They are indeed.
They are falling through compared to the hard disk that is there. Unbelievable. I had to buy a special cable for that. That was angled in order to fit it in.
Well, I can remember the days when I got really excited the first time I got a 1 gigabyte USB memory stick. I was like, I've got a 1 gigabyte memory stick. That's amazing. And now I've got like 1 terabyte memory sticks.
Yeah.
I'm like,
the company there that I worked with, they bought RAM sticks. Yeah? And we were all excited. They had 8 gigabyte RAM sticks with the company logo on it. And we all tried to get one, and the boss didn't give them out. So after 1.5, 2 years, I mean, you had these 100 gigabyte RAM sticks, 16 gigabyte RAM sticks were normal, 32, 64. And then he couldn't even give them as a giveaway to customers anymore because he didn't want the small one.
yeah.
So he should have given us, at that time, he should have given each of us a RAM stick. And then, so he had about 50 of these, and he may have given 5 to customers. and that was it. So he had more than 40 left. Of course, he definitely had 2 or 3 for himself. But to us, he didn't want to give it. And then he came and said, oh, you wanted these sticks, you can have them now. Then you can keep them. We don't want them anymore. Stick them in your ass.
Too small now.
I mean, if you want to have to put a video on it and give it to somebody, just keep the stick. I don't need it anymore. Like, you sometimes, especially for the BIOS update, you need a RAM stick, a small one. But you can do a RAM stick update.
I did see today on a website I was looking at, they were doing an M2 hard drive for your PC that goes on your motherboard. And I saw them doing one of those that was 4 terabytes. And I was like, that might be interesting. Because then I could transfer my Windows drive onto the M2 in my PC. And then I would have a spare SSD then for more Steam games. And I'd also have a bit more storage space on my C drive then.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. What do you mean with M2?
M2, it's like it's like a little chip in it that plugs in.
Okay.
It fastens in on your motherboard. It slots into a slot on your motherboard, and it acts as your hard drive. They're faster than solid. They're faster than SSDs, typically. Because obviously they're just basically like RAM. They're like a bit like your RAM chips, really. Like a very high speed flash memory.
Yeah, when I bought this computer, it has a 500 megabyte SSD. I said, "Oh, that's sufficient." Didn't take a year for it to be full. Because I installed everything on this drive to be faster.
One of the things I
moved my library, my Steam library, to a different drive.
One of the things I seriously need to look at getting for my PC is a PCI expansion card with more USB ports on it. Because I've run out of USB slots and I've got so many hubs with stuff plugged in, and I think it's like, I need more actual ports on the PC.
Yeah. I only have one PCI card. With 4 USBs.
I was looking at one yesterday that had 6 USB 3 sockets on it. External, and then there was also an internal one as well that you could use. On the PCI card. I was like, oh, that's cool. I could put like a external hard drive and put it in my case and plug it in then to the PCI card.
I think the next generation of they only have the USB-C. And then you need a lot of adapters for your old
tech. Yeah, that's the only problem. You have to buy all cables,
for your old gear. Maybe you have 20 or 30 USB-C connections. Can't have enough. I mean, you can unplug stuff that you don't need and plug it back in when you need it, but every time you have to crawl under your desk. I was playing American Truck Simulator 2 weeks ago. I said, what's wrong with this track IR? Doesn't work. I had my glasses on. I said, okay, I have to change it to contact lenses again because the reflection disturbs track IR. And then after that, it still didn't work. And that's when I noticed that
Yeah,
I
got it
had
plugged in.
my Kobe eye tracker attached to my monitor, and I have to put it down, face down, that doesn't disturb the track IR, because it sends an infrared signal which is then reflected from glasses or eyes, and track IR catches that signal and flickers, yeah, when you move your head.
See, that's what I'm
So the
thinking.
two don't work together.
That's why I'm thinking I need a PCI card, because I'm going to be getting track IR
It's
sometime
just
next
one
month when it's
USB.
delivered. Yeah, it's one USB, but I need to be able to plug that in.
Sure.
Track IR doesn't work wirelessly, sadly, so it's going to have to be plugged in somewhere. So I'm going to need a port to plug it into.
It's not a Bluetooth version.
And if it's anything like like all the other USB devices on my PC, where every time I shut my computer down and switch it back on again, none of them work until you've gone around and unplugged them and plugged them back in again, then I definitely want the port somewhere where I can get to it fairly easily without having to crawl under the desk.
Yeah, track IR is definitely a great feature for flight simulator. Everyone is saying that you can only top it with virtual reality. But then, is virtual reality really that good graphics-wise that it is worth using it on flight simulator? I mean, it's still not working with flight simulator, but it eventually will.
I watched someone the other day who did a farm sim video, and he was like, it was ever so funny because he was like, God, he says, I bet all you people out there, he goes, you're all in the same group of people. He says, you've all sat there with your track IRs, and you've got your steering wheels on the desk, and you've got your side panels set up, and this and that. He says, and you spend all this money in farm sim, but what have you really got out of it? He says, wouldn't it have been much better if farm sim supported VR? He says, all that money you've spent on your steering wheels and your side panels and your track IRs and your eye trackers and everything. He says, you could have spent.
Still be working.
He says, you could have spent a lot less money and bought yourself a VR.
Well, the steering wheel you still need even with VR. Yeah, it was 2 years ago when I was playing more Elite Dangerous. I was saying, okay, as soon as Oculus Rift comes out and it's working somewhat, I'm going to buy it. And then I had videos of people playing it, and really, Elite Dangerous is a space game. You're in space, and space principally is 2D. You don't see 3D. It's not possible unless you are flying over a planet, close to a planet, or next to a station. Then I said, okay, VR is not really worth it. But okay, when you're sitting in the cabin, you see the cabin in 3D and everything, it's still okay. But I think track IR is when I decided on track IR. I said, okay, I still can see my keyboard and the buttons that I need to press while playing, which in VR you can't.
So that's the thing, for like VR to work in farm sim, all the controls inside the tractor would have to be interactable. You would actually be able to grab the steering wheel in VR and turn it to steer it. You would need to be able to press
similar like in the flight sim.
like the flight sim, like the throttle lever in the tractor. You would need to be able to
Throttle,
grab that and
flaps,
move that to accelerate and brake. You'd need to be able to press all the buttons to turn your lights on and off and raise and lower your hydraulics and stuff. That's the only way farm sim would really work in VR, because like you say, with VR you can't see your keyboard, your mouse, your controller.
Where did I leave my control? Or your cup of coffee.
Or your cup of coffee, yeah. You can't see your desk to put your feet on it.
No. So what else? I can plant something else. So you want to plant corn?
On 78?
Yeah.
And then whatever you fancy on field 17, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. Wheat might be a good thing. You need flour.
Yeah. Good call. Seed. Start filling. Got some flour. I bet that's sat over there waiting to be picked up.
I did some crop destruction on field 17. When I went with the harvester, started harvesting. The field wasn't finished growing. Oh, I said, why is it not working? The bloody thing. Oh, so they had finished growing.
That is something I hope they fix in the future game. I've noticed it a lot on that map that I was playing this afternoon, that the fields don't grow it the same. You know, they're all the one field is at like 2 or 3 different stages of growth, and it's like, how can that be possible? I seeded it at the exact same time. How can it be at 3 different stages of growth on the same field?
2 is possible, yeah, but 3? Hardly. Unless it's a very huge field. And you had time on factor 10.
No, I've only had it at 2 times. Maximum speed. Because it's a big map. The fields are big. There, corn. Takes a lot of clicking to find the right crop on this planter.
It's a huge variety, yeah, for this planter. The only thing it doesn't plant is tomatoes.
Tomatoes!
Yeah, potatoes we need to do at some point. Now that we are millionaires. Oh, we're not millionaires. Okay.
Yeah, we're not millionaires anymore. Sorry, Rodney. This time next year, we're not millionaires.
Tomorrow we will be.
When them chickens have made a bit more money.
When the compost is finished.
Compost is finished.
What?
When the compost is finished.
Yeah.
We'll be trillionaires.
Woody woodpecker.
Woody woodpecker.
Just hear the woodpecker. Going. They should get a. I mean, the design of the birds. I mean, the genetic design. It's amazing that they don't get a brain damage every time they go. Brrr, you know, it's like banging your head on the wall. What? No. But they have a damper in the beak. It's unbelievable how the nature designs these things. You can imagine if a boxer had such a feature. You can't knock him out. Couldn't knock a woodpecker out. It's impossible.
Like that episode of The Simpsons when Homer Simpson couldn't get knocked out.
Couldn't.
So he took up boxing because he couldn't. He was that brain damaged apparently anyway that he didn't know boxing wasn't going to cause any more issues. And
Cassius Clay had Parkinson in the end, and it probably was caused by the boxing. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, all that CTE.
The what do you mean? Going for X-ray?
No, they call it CTE, don't they? It's the condition now, the concussion syndrome thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
CTE injuries, they call it. People who have repeated concussions and end up developing brain onjuries and brain conditions as a result. Like
It's
a lot of like the American footballers.
They can do once that brain is damaged, the only thing they can do is apply for president of the United States. It's the only thing you can do.
Or they go on a murder rampage.
That's what you can do even with brain damage. What's going on? Because I have no fertilizer, it doesn't seed.
Yeah, once it runs out of fertilizer, it stops, and then you have to switch it back on again. And then it will start seeding.
I mean, it doesn't fertilize anyway, yeah? Okay.
But it's weird because as I found out today on that other map, if you have a helper driving the tractor and it runs out of fertilizer, the helper will stop and go, yeah, I'm finished. And then if you try to start the helper up again without any fertilizer in the tank, he goes, nope, can't do it.
The thing is
so they won't drive the machine with only seed. The helper has to have fertilizer as well. He won't just do seeding. And that's fucking annoying.
The thing is, I mean, the texture of the ground is now lighter without the fertilizer. But in the map, fertilizer is not applied. See no difference in the map state.
Yeah, it's because of how how Giants coded the planters and seeders to work. I believe they put the fertilizer on the ground before they put the seed down and before they changed the ground texture, which is why it doesn't work when you seed a field straight after fertilizing. because you've got fertiliser sat there on the ground, and then you come over it with the seeder, you put more fertiliser on top, and then you put the seed, and then you change the texture. And at that point, it's like, well, now it doesn't work. Because you've put two lots of fertiliser on top of each other. And the game just registers that as one application.
They should have prioritised the seeding and then the fertiliser.
Seed first, yeah. Seed first, then texture change, then fertiliser. That would have been perfect.
I mean, in reality, they put fertilizer on the field no matter what. I mean, if it's the third time they fertilize, they have over-fertilized, but yeah, it's just a game. Let's wait for Farm Sim 2025.
Farm Sim 2025, yeah. That'll be the one.
To do that correct.
When it's really complicated and hardcore. So you end up with 3 people stood around one tractor trying to figure out how to get it to start. Oh wait, sorry, that was the last episode of Millennial Farmer.
Yeah, you have to do some angling of the blades and stuff, you know, lowering the blades, how deep they go. Check the soil afterwards.
Yeah, I had to laugh at that yesterday when I watched that video. Millennial Farmer went to his dad's house because his dad's built a house away from the farm, on the opposite end of the town where they live. He's like built a house, and Millennial Farmer agreed that he was going to do all the lawn and everything for him. So he got he contacted this company that specialises in like lawns and stuff and putting in lawns, and got them to come up to Minnesota to do the lawn for his dad, so they could like do a proper professional lawn. And they were like, okay, we're going to use the tractors and stuff. And he's like, okay, well that's great, he says, because my dad's just got a new tractor. He says he's got a little red case tractor that he thinks is brilliant. So all three, the Millennial Farmer and these 2 guys from this grass company, they went off into the shed, and all 3 of them couldn't figure out how to. They couldn't figure out how to make the case tractor start.
Would they seed the grass, or would they put just a roll grass? Or
they seeded it. They did all the soil preparation first. So they went over the soil with a machine first of all that got all the rocks out of it and all the stones, and then they went over it with another machine then which like compacted the soil down to make a good seed bed.
You have to flatten it,
And then they went out, and then finally they went over it with a machine that not only put the seed down, but put all the fertilizer and all the other stuff that the grass needs down at the same time, and all the spray. That was quite an interesting little machine because the guy actually stood on that. You had to stand on that, and it had like handlebars like a motorcycle.
Okay.
And to drive it and operate it. And when Millennial Farmer had a go, he's like, "Oh, this completely confuses me." He says, "I keep expecting it to have like a twist throttle, like on a proper motorbike." He says, "But you've got to keep squeezing He says, to me, that's the brake." He says, that would be the brake on a motorbike, but that's apparently how you make it go faster. He says.
Yeah, I know when my father made the lawn. He had some wooden plates on the shoes to flatten the ground and compact it. And he walked across the lawn. Others have some rolling equipment.
Yeah, well,
he walked to a really big grass field.
Well, the machine that they used first, the one that did the rocks, that was quite impressive because that went on the front of a skid steer. And what it did, not only did it dig the rocks out of the ground, but it windrowed them. It made like a little swath of rocks that they could then go pick up with the shovel. Pick it up with a shovel on a front loader. But yeah, It was quite funny. Like I say, watching the three of them though. At one point, trying to figure out how to turn this case tractor on, how to get it started, and then when they finally got it started, they then couldn't figure out how to actually get it in gear and get it to go forward. So they had to go. They had to go and call the dad to come and drive the tractor, because they're like, we don't know how it works. It's too technical for us. It's too new and complicated. But then this typical situation, like literally, again, this is why I said the other day, I think Millennial Farmer's dad is a jinx. Because he got this little red case tractor, like the first day, all worked perfectly fine, they were using it. The next day, one of the grass guys went to jump on it to start it up to carry on with the seeding and stuff, and it sprung a massive oil leak. And it was so severe that they couldn't actually move the tractor. It completely seized the tractor up. They couldn't get it to move. So they had to get another tractor to come and drag it out of the way so they could carry on doing what they wanted to do. And of course, Millennial...
I don't think that I will not put any fertilizer in the seeder, because it doesn't.
Of course, I was laughing because, of course, Millennial Farmer was doing his usual. That's why you don't buy red tractors, he says, because they always break down. Get yourself a John Deere. You can't beat green machines, he says. You buy a red machine, it's going to break on you, he says.
Yeah, the guy when he goes to the guy who does these plastic stuff.
Yeah, for the harvester, like the shoes. He bought him some John Deere gloves. And says, you need to wear those when you fit those parts on my machine. Says, make sure you've got. Says, make sure you're wearing your gloves. He says, you've got to be safe. Oh, weeds! No!
Okay. I weeded 3 fields already yesterday.
The weeds are growing on field 9. I'm going to wait until they actually have grown on all the fields before I take care of them. Field 17 will need fertilising again.
I weeded 11, 13 and 12, so...
I might have a look. And possibly...
I can do the fertilising, no problem.
You do some fertilising then. I'm going to make a bit of a start on some grass mowing, I think. As we have 3 fields of grass, and it might be an idea to do 1 field of hay, 1 field of silage, and something else. Ready for feeding animals. Like the cows and stuff. Might start on field 14 as that's the newest field. Must be getting a bit low on stuff to feed the cows now. TMR wise, that is.
Yeah, we definitely need hay for these. Rice. It's not working, fertilizing. You see, this is bullshit. It's the seeder and fertilizing at the same time. It's first of all, it doesn't fertilize field, but it then prevents fertilizing.
Until the crop has started to grow.
Yeah.
Ay, what bullshit rubbish.
Twice it doesn't make sense.
I don't know if that's sometimes the map though that does that, because I've not had it on. I've not had that problem on other maps. Like, for example, I've never had that issue on Stevie's maps. So I don't know whether it's
really
just something about the way some map authors do their maps that flipping things don't work properly.
So grass, you want to make hay, I need a tether.
You need a tedder, yeah.
Tether. Where's the teddy? Hello, teddy.
Hello, Teddy.
Which field are you
On field 14.
Oh. The other end of the map. Is 14 big enough for hay?
Oh, yeah.
Will we get one bale out of it?
Yeah, we might get one bale, maybe two. Actually not a bad sized field this for doing grass on. Doesn't have any poles in it. Guess they were all busy that day. Oh, ah, ah.
What is going on? Oh, server kicked me.
Uh-oh.
It's always on this side of the map, I don't know.
Nobody's been drop kicked. And he's over the bar, and it's good. 3 points to Gryffindor. I don't even know if that's a real thing or not. Synchronizing data with the other players. Synchronizing data with the players. all the data with the players. Back on the move again. Hello, Heno886. Welcome to the stream. Very nearly finished doing all the grass mowing on this field. Means that I can go grab the windrower and follow Mr. Helgi. Doing the tedding.
And get kicked from the server.
Get kicked. Probably by those chickens who are fed up with us shoving it in their face.
Yeah. They cut the internet line.
In your face chickens.
They stepped on the wireless line.
Yeah. They're probably getting revenge for you shooting one of them off the wire the other evening. And then asking how many of them would be left.
Yeah.
Ouch. These turns are a bit tight around this farm when you've got stuff on the front and the back of the tractor. Give it a whirl, won't we?
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. My Deutsch Far Warrior, you have been chosen. Do the windrow.
Make sure you fill the tank and repair it. Look, 1800. Oh. For compass. Maybe we get another price above 1900 for the compass tomorrow.
Would be nice. Would be nice.
So they are fluctuating.
Oh, of course, I've got the flipping weirdo flipping windrower, haven't I?
So the next thing is
Bailey.
round baler.
Round baling. Or square baling. Entirely up to you which one you want to do. No foot pressure. If you want to do square bales, you can do square bales. If you do round bales, you can do round bales. It's entirely up to you.
It's the question of picking it up. It's maybe easier with round bales. Or is TMR mixing better with square bales?
Well, if you did square bales, then the hay and the silage would be the same quantity.
Yeah, you need 2 hay and one straw and 1 silage.
Are you still mixing it like that? You're still mixing, because I was mixing it one hay, one silage, and that's what I was doing. I wasn't using any straw. You don't have to use straw to do silage. You can make silage with just...
You have the, excuse me, you have the menu.
Yeah, you're
And
looking in the menu.
The right side is a help window. And if you scroll down and you go to total mix ration, it says it's simple. Put into the mixer wagon 2 hay bales, 1 straw bale, fill the rest with silage. That's the help window.
Yeah, well, I ignore that and I go by what the game lets me do. And the game lets me do 1 bale of hay and 1 bale of silage, and it makes TMR. And then I don't need to bother with straw. And it also means that the
1 bale of hay and 1 bale of silage without straw.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
That's
It's
enough.
the same size of bales.
Same size of bales, yeah, because they fill the machine. With our 10,000 litre bales, that fills the mixer. 1 bale of hay and 1 bale of silage fills the mixer.
But I could add some straw as well.
Oh yeah, but you was only adding a couple of 100 litres.
Okay.
Which was, to be honest, a waste of a straw bale, because all the rest of it just disappears. You don't get that.
It is definitely, if it's like that. It is a waste, yeah. So the Krone Big is making square bales, right?
Yeah, the Krone Big Pack does the square bales, yes. Yeah, I don't like this windrower very much, because when you go around corners it tends to miss bits. Because this weird windrower decides the front 2 spinny round things throw the grass into the path of the 2 rear ones, and it's the 2 rear ones that make the swath. Obviously when you go around corners they don't line up. So the 2 front discs are throwing grass into the path of nothing.
You need a differential for the corners, like on the cars.
Well, when I do the swathing on field 18, I just tend to go in straight lines. I use GPS on field 18 when I'm doing grass.
So the first thing is a grass bale anyway.
First thing out is a grass bale. Empty, I'm guessing. And the last field we did.
Well, you couldn't empty it.
That's... I don't like that. I don't like not being able to empty bales.
I mean, what's the problem in just putting out
a bale with
0.6 size bale?
Yeah. I don't understand that, why you can't unload an unfinished bale.
It's just a shorter version of a normal bale, then.
Yeah.
It's just a shorter version or a lighter version or whatever. Because they don't want to change the size of the bale.
I thought he's made 1 bale. Woohoo! Now I thought this field would yield good. all properly ploughed, fertilised, limed and everything before I seeded it. And it hasn't had weeds grow on it, has it?
Not that I know.
Probably a few bales. A couple. More than one. It's always better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Getting a terrible lag here.
Don't get kicked off.
The problem if you get lag, it's very difficult to follow the line, to sniff it up. Nothing better than a hay sniff. Sniffing him up a hay line. It was a £50 note. I would have said a £100 note if you had any.
I think if anybody had £100 note, they would have used that to have bought the stuff they're sniffing, wouldn't they? So many bales.
Baler picks up all the stuff and never needs to be emptied.
It's a shame it can't harvest.
Yeah.
Do soybean bales and corn bales and rye bales. Reverse, reverse, reverse. All hands abandon ship.
Interesting was the baling they did, the hay baling on Millennial Farm, where you have to drive the tractor left and right to get a square bale. I mean, an evenly compacted bale out of it. What are you driving?
I'm going all over the place. I can't see in front of me because I've got the camera looking to the windrow. I'm driving towards the camera.
So you were driving backwards.
Driving towards the camera. I'm doing one of those artistic kind of streamer camera shot things.
Have you seen this millennial farmer where they did some hay baling? Round bales.
No.
And you have to follow the line, and then there's a computer screen indicating that the bale you're currently doing is more higher on the right side, then you have to drive a little bit further to the right, that the left side gets more hay than the right side. So it's not just like driving across the line, you have to move
Balance
left
out the
and right
baler.
a little bit
Balance
to
out
make
the,
it square.
balance out the machine.
Yeah. And the plastic guy, he put some of the plastic stuff as the between these pickup plates or pickup sticks that rotate. You know? And plastic is better than metal because the metal can be bent and then blocks everything, and it's not so loud to use this plastic as a separator between the different pickup rotating stuff. It was quite interesting video.
Always interesting.
It's also science, you know, about how to do it.
Now I'm going to need the truck. Or do we?
Yeah.
Probably. Probably, maybe, possibly. Running costs. You know, if you drove everywhere in a tractor instead of running, you wouldn't need to pay running costs.
Yeah, I thought I was driving and not running. Drive.
He's driving. Why is that not loaded? Why is that not picked that up? Now it has. Helps if you turn on the auto load thing.
It does too. Occasionally.
Driving. Or should that now be falling?
Right. Who's that?
Falling. New Lando Norris game that's trending.
Falling?
What is it? Fall Guys or something that everybody's playing at the minute.
No idea.
He's been streaming that a lot the last couple of days. Fall Guys. Got all the lovely bales. Look how it tilts that one on its end in the end. Keep lifting me still, you. Eventually, I will tip him over. Eventually,
All the base falling.
all the bales fall off, and it's like, right, got to do that again now. Pick them all up. That's why I said it'd be really funny the other night if you tipped over a grain trailer after you'd harvested and all the stuff spilled out. You'd have to go and scoop it all up with a wheel loader.
With a teaspoon. As punishment. Like cleaning a toilet with a toothbrush. Bales to the cows.
Bales to the cows, yeah. They're the ones that are going to need it the most. Right, forklift master. Oh, there's some more bales over there. Them ones.
Oh, they respawn. Respawning bales.
One more row. Over. Stacks it on the end like a pro. Got room for 5 more.
And we have 6 more bales. Oh, 5.
Oh,
perfect.
One of them's a grass bale though, isn't it? Yeah, because we also load the grass bale perhaps. There's no point in me being stuck with the grass bale. The horses won't take a grass bale. Yeah, the odd leftover bale I can take and put in the horses. So one of these must be grass. Is it this one?
Why they all go onto the trailer? No? We have 4 bales left and 4 go on.
No?
Huh?
Well, you said there were 6
Take
bales left.
everything to the car. No, I was joking. I was at this troll game. No, it's not trolling us. Perfect.
Not trolling, it's stoling us. What is it then? It's right there.
Perfect.
I said it's stoling us, because that's the name of the machine. Two bales left. 2 slots left. One thing that doesn't work in Farm Simulator like it does in real life is that if when you're lifting the front loader on the tractor, if you press the throttle it goes up quicker. It's the same on a forklift. Raising a forklift and you hit the throttle, it lifts it quicker. Whereas on this it doesn't. It just makes the tractor drive forwards and crash into whatever you're trying to load it onto. That's field 14 successfully mowed.
Good job.
Good job, Hancock. Good job. Lovely horses.
Shall we test the mixing procedure?
Yeah.
For TMR.
1 bale of hay, 1 bale of silage.
Are you taking the tractor with you? Or we may have to buy some front loader for the cow farm.
I can bring the tractor over there. Always borrow the front loader from the sunflower factory. Drive that between the 2 places. The only problem is these straps aren't very useful when you're trying to pick up one individual bale when there's in a stack. It tends to pick up the whole stack.
This street has some spots where you get kicked around when you drive by.
There's some spots as well where the cows just wander about. Oh, they all seem to be in the grazing bit today. All on the other side of the road. Alright, so I'm going to need one of these bales first. Ah, that's a problem. That's a little bit of a problem.
Oops, some are on the street.
Move track the mixing machine.
You have to pick them up the street.
We haven't got another tractor over.
Why? Is it not working without being connected?
It'll work
Does it
without
have
being connected, but it's just going to be awkward. One bale of silage. Now I need one bale of hay.
Go outside where there are some on the road. Somebody put them on. Put them back.
Somebody's tipped hay all over the road. No wonder the cows are confused.
And the traffic.
No wonder the cows are all over the place. They're like, jeez, gotta go get our own food. Oh, stuck on the side. That looks like TMR to me.
This looks like TMR. What is it?
And it is total mixed ration. 20,000 litres exactly.
How much?
20,000.
Okay, and totally goes, how much is going into it?
The machine can hold a total of...
It's not much more, yeah. It's not much more, maybe 22.
The machine can hold 23,000. It's not worth chucking any other bales in there because the bales are... You're losing 7,000 litres else. I mean, if you had some straw loose that you could scoop up in a bucket just to top it off with...
I mean, do you want to put some hay or silage loose?
Possibly, because that bar's gone red.
Yeah.
I think on this map as well, I think the guy did change it so the cows eat their food in parallel.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some loose straw over here. Just tipped a load of straw in the bunker.
Yeah. I had to get rid of it, yeah. Maybe I take the wheel loader and give them some loose straw. In a little bit, huh? What do you think?
Yeah, could do that. You could also use the wheel loader to top up the TMR machine. And then, yeah, I drop the bale of hay and bale of silage in, and then you give it a quick bucket full of straw.
Yep.
Just to take it up to the full 23,000 litres. kind of thing. It's moved up then, doesn't it? That was too heavy.
The star goes in there as well.
Yeah.
I need to know which spot. The first and the second.
The middle one's for the food, so it's either the end. It's the. I think it's the end ones from the straw.
Yeah, it's working. So it's in principle full.
Principal food.
Principle green. Green bar. So can I top it up now? Or?
Yeah. And I'm full.
Oh, it doesn't fill further. It only fills to the max. Oh, see, that doesn't stop when it's full.
Happy little animals.
Make another round of TMI.
Yeah. That will be sufficient for now. One more. Another 20,000 litres. We must have over 100,000 now. Want one of you.
Do you have silage in it?
Yeah, I've got silage in the machine already.
Can't pick it up, huh? The bale is too heavy.
Strong arms.
Oh, it's too heavy.
Oh, you troll. Come on. There.
Spill. Oh. Full?
Full. Come on, Mr. Cow.
Come.
$38,000 they've got now. 38,000. Of a bucket load. What are we doing? One more?
Yeah, should be fine.
Oh. I'm full. Yay, they're in the green.
Oops. Hey, I can move these oil barrels.
Move the oil barrels?
I can move the oil barrels here. See the yellow oil barrel? The red oil barrel? Just can't move them.
Oh. Roll everywhere. Probably respawn when the map resets.
I'm not sure. Is there something invisible in here?
Think invisible?
Thought so.
Invisible where? These bones. Come on, cows. Out of the way. Some of us have got work to do, you know? Not just stand around in fields all day eating grass like you. At the moment, the chickens are beating you, cows. So in your face, cows.
Is there any milk?
Good question. Not checked. There is 12,595 litres of milk. There's 10,000 litres of slurry. There is 15,000 litres of manure. Oh my lord, look at all the pallets. What, he knocked them?
Squished another passenger.
Squished a passenger?
Or pedestrian, rather. Who's the wheel loader?
It's alright. It's alright, they're only Spaniards. It's not like they're like real people.
They probably have corona already, no problem.
Spaniards. They're not like real people. Three pallets. Oh.
Uh-oh, I lost the truck.
Helper F is blocked by an object. Who's Helper F? Who's Helper F when he's at home?
The truck that followed me
Follow me?
got stuck. Huh?
You're using the follow me? Oh,
Yeah,
to take the
it's
truck
follow
and the
me.
wheel loader, right, yeah, I get it.
Do you need a truck for the pallets?
No.
Where is it? At the factory?
Yeah, the flour factory's just south of the cows. Past the basin where the water is.
What? Oh my god, it's all over there.
All the way over there.
Why did I drive so far away? Oh god. Going backwards with the truck. It's like walking. Why doesn't it go beep, 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 beep? Because it's so slow.
Beep, beep, beep,
I need
beep.
to change the gear.
I need to change the gear ratio. And what they need to do is change the I've got to get that one. Look at me, pallet roller extraordinaire. Cool. Hey, I am super strong. Comes the truck.
What do I need to set? Hold on, hold on.
You need to set it to pallets. Just regular old pallets.
Got it.
Ah,
Come on.
ah,
The
pallets are alive.
Stop it.
I can't get on my wheels now. Ah! I'm losing them. I'm stuck on a fence post.
Can't help you.
Ah.
Got one.
Come on.
Got one.
Right, I'm back on my wheels now. Right, I can do it. I can do this. Right, let's get these over the back of the truck, and then let's. There you go.
Yeah.
You got to figure out where you're selling them. Flour is.
Is this everything?
That's all the pallets so far. Yeah.
There's another pallet over there. Is it not full?
Not full yet.
So
Distribution centre.
What is it that I have?
You have flour. So you need to go to the distribution centre.
I don't see a distribution centre.
It's behind the supermarket on the main road. Next to the shop. The store where you buy the equipment. At the roundabout, next to Field 14. Place I normally go to when the gates are locked, because it's closed.
Then we don't need the truck anymore, right? We can put it back.
Yeah, once you've unloaded. Yeah, once you've unloaded those pallets, you can take the truck back to the shop. Yes, and it's getting quite late for you, and you're going to want to go to bed soon.
Yep. Have to work.
Now your vacation is over. Ow!
That's quite a productive evening again.
Yes, we've done quite a bit tonight. Harvesting done, got straw done, we filled up the manure pit, or you did, so there'll be all the compost.
Next compost harvest is another huge money.
I have to decide then if we want to buy any more equipment for anything. Anything else we need.
Maybe a bigger harvester.
Bigger harvester.
especially with maybe, I don't know. You have to maneuver around, that's the problem. Taking the normal head, this normal corn, wheat header, grain header, is pretty easy with this short header. If it's longer, it's more complicated.
Certainly is. Got to faff about with a longer header. You've got to faff about then with a header trailer and all that stuff. Whereas that header, that little foldy header works quite well.
Oh, there you are. Do you need to unload?
Huh? Well, if
Do you need to unload?
No, I was going to let you unload. And then if the pallets don't sell, I can pick them up with the tractor and wave them in the air until they do sell.
Yeah, do the waving.
Is on this, aren't brilliant.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, 18,000, 19,000.
In your face, chickens.
Just a few pallets.
In your face, chicken.
The price increases.
Price keeps going up.
Yeah. Somehow one pallet was more full than the others.
Possibly. Good evening's work. Got a bit of harvesting to do tomorrow by the looks of it. And some of these other fields. There'll be weed spraying, which I will take care of tomorrow. I'll do the weed killing at some point. I'll probably get on in the daytime tomorrow and do a bit of weed spraying on the fields that we've planted tonight. And then tomorrow night, then after we've done the harvesting, we might be able to do the silage on field 18. That'd be quite nice. And then we could have a look at maybe starting to empty the compost machine, and I can show you how to use the mouse to do it.
Yeah. Probably quicker.
2 tractors with loading wagons, because I think the loading wagons hold the most capacity, don't they? They hold, is it 56,000?
Loading wagon is good, yeah.
Loading wagons hold 56,000, and we've got 2 of those, and it's just a case of having the mouse unloading the compost into the 2 loading wagons and taking the loading wagons and tipping.
What do you do with the... you want to park it here?
What?
The windrow.
The windrow. It's on field... I've left it by field 18 to remind me that that's one of the jobs to do next. Is mow that field. No, actually, no, we don't need it, do we? What am I thinking?
Not sure what you want to do.
Because when we mow field 18, we just bale it as grass, don't we? Because then we wrap the grass bales to make the silage. We don't need to ted and windrow field 18 when we're doing silage, because the mower makes swaths. The mower does it in swaths, so yeah, I don't need the windrower over there when we're doing silage. Only need the windrower once we've made any hay. I can park that back in the shed.
Just quickly do some fertilizer.
Yeah, quickly do field 17, that's a good idea. Or 14, whichever one it is that needs doing. 14 will need doing. Because we've mowed the grass. Tractor needs fuel and it needs a repair, so I will do that.
Why am I so short? Did somebody switch it off?
You got logged out of the server. So it always resets it, doesn't it? Back to 24 meters.
Do I change it again?
Yeah, you'll have to change it again to 45.
Yeah, but how? Change working.
Change working with.
Why?
Using the same button combination as you use for changing seed on a seeder. Ooh, nearly pressed the wrong button there and nearly sold the tractor. I hit A instead of Y. Easy mistake to make.
When I was fertilizing, why is the edge not fertilized? I'm not that far away from the edge. Okay.
I can't believe it. Everything's repaired. There's nothing that's broken. I'm impressed. All our equipment is 100% fine and dandy.
Usually when I use the equipment and I see it, then I just repair it. So keeps it up to date and tidy.
Our compost is at 51%. Exciting.
At least that doesn't take a week.
No, it doesn't take a week to ferment, does it?
Well, it should take maybe a couple of days longer than it does. But okay.
Yes, it's something
I'm not complaining.
Play around with. Always something I can change on the next map, whatever we play next. The fermenting time of bunkers for when you're making silage and stuff. You can change that in the XML. I think by default it's always set at about 6 hours, and I know in some of my Let's Plays, like when I did Fenton Forest and that, I made it like 24 hours or 48 hours. So it takes like 2 days in game before it's ready to be collected. In your face, chicken.
So the boss said field 40 needs to be fertilized. Okay. I'll work some overtime hours.
Fine. That's fine. Need to put the work in if you're going to make us over $1 million. Hello, horses. Oh yes, I've given you water, horses. I can see you've also made a little bit of manure, horses. We will come and fetch that one day because we can put that into compost as well.
11, 13 and 12 are ready to harvest. I just finished seeding them yesterday, it looks like.
Yeah, we'll leave those till tomorrow. Somebody's driven over field 18.
What?
Driven
18?
over field 18 and done crop destruction.
No, 18. I didn't drive over field 18. Where do you see crop destruction on field 18? I don't see anything.
That right where this gate is.
Where? Yeah, I see that on your map.
One's driven out over here.
You have to press grass or something.
Turn grass on, yeah. They've driven over here.
Where?
Down this. Might have been me with the windrower. Might have been me with the windrower.
Yeah, probably, because I didn't move anything over there.
Me. When I parked the windrower over here.
Didn't think about that.
I keep forgetting about that. I keep forgetting that this map has crop destruction on grass. I'm not used to it because it doesn't happen on any other map. You can't destroy grass. I don't know why the mod author added that feature. It seems a bit stupid.
I know it is on one other map.
Hofbergman, yeah. Which is another map that does loads of complicated stuff just to annoy the players.
Said, okay, how do you avoid crop destruction when you mow? Oh, you need skinny wheels for the mower.
Skinny wheels, yeah.
Tractor.
Skinny wheels on your truck.
Find a tractor with skinny wheels in a default map. Without mods.
There's plenty of tractors with skinny wheels.
Yeah, but when I...
Case 7200 Pro has them.
When I started playing the game, I didn't know it.
D6 New Holland has skinny wheels. Most of the small and medium tractors will have skinny wheels.
Small ones, yeah.
Small and medium tractors will
be able to
power the mowers. That's why I like some of the mods, like the Puma. That nice Puma mod, that does skinny wheels.
In general, you should be able to fit skinny wheels on any tractor.
I like that one because it has the narrow jaws, so it stops it tipping over quite so much, and you don't do crop destruction. And you can crank the power on that up to 300 horsepower, which is quite nice. So yeah, I quite like the Case Puma CVX. Probably explains why we have one of them. Some of these other ones. I know the guy's just done an update for the AFS Connect Magnum tractor. That was on the mod hub the other day. And he's added it so that some of the row crop options on this thing don't do crop destruction anymore. Fire options. Select row crop. It's always nice. A lot of weeding. Weeding. Start down on field 17. Well, actually, if I start by refueling the weed sprayer, putting some herbicide in it, of course, now the cows are making milk, we'll need to find where the cheese factory is on the map and make sure we've bought that so we can make cheese.
You have to transport cheese in pallets as well?
Yeah.
Or loose?
Cheese is in pallets. It would be nice if they grated the cheese and put it in a trailer for you, wouldn't it? A trailer of grated cheese. I've done my usual.
Yeah, where would the cheese factory be? What cheese? 2,273. I know where the distribution center buys it as well.
Distribution centre and supermarket probably buy all those sorts of things.
But you have no idea where the factory is, and that's the problem with the map.
Well, I'm going to assume it's going to be
near the cows.
It's going to be one of these places. I think it's one of these places over by the textile industry. One of these little plots of land. I'm sure it's one of these two. I think one of them does cheese and the other one does, I think it's pellets. Because the other plot of land near the cows is for doing boards. Or planks. Pallets of planks.
I'll jump the fence. Walk around. So this is called pellets production biomass 1. It's near the textile industry. So where would the other place be?
There's one on the other side of the textile industry place. Keep going forward. Keep going forward. Oh, and then it'll be on your left.
Yep, that's milk.
That's the cheese place.
It's obvious that it takes La Coronella Quesos Artesanos. Yeah, cheese.
Cheese.
That's the one on the left. Yeah, that's where I am standing right now.
And that's the one that's 80 grand to buy. So I think we'll have that. I think we can just about afford that.
Fine.
As long as Mr. Helge doesn't want too much overtime, we can just about afford that.
Yep. Jump in the water. Yeah. Clutch. Oh, I can swim. There is no water. There's no water.
I'll tell you where is a funny place to jump into. If you jump into the river, the stream, up near the top of our farm, it's quite deep. You go right under the map. Ever done that?
No. Where is that? Where the bridge is?
Yeah, up near like.
I can't jump.
Yeah, between like field 9 and 10. If you go up there, where the main road is, and jump in there.
No, it's very shallow.
Yeah, but you wait till you get up near, as I say, get up near the main road and jump in.
Okay, I can walk under the water now. Oh.
It gets a lot deeper.
Oh, there's a hole. There's a hole in the ground.
Yeah, I told you.
Right. That's a hole. There's another hole. Oh man, he did a bad job with that one. He was probably in a hurry. to make this happen.
The first time I ran around the map, I ran into that, and I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "What's just happened? Where am I?" I didn't know what was going on. It was like, flipping heck, I'm right under the map.
Okay.
Good night then, sir.
Yep. Good night. Cheerio.
Good night. See you tomorrow. Don't work too hard. I think that field is weeded. What I shall do is I shall park this over here next to field 78. And I know then that that's the field to start with tomorrow when I log in, and I'll get 78 done, I'll get field 9 done, and then that will be about it. And then tomorrow evening we can set about harvesting 4, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then getting the silage done on field 18, and then if we still got a bit of time left, start emptying the compost, ready to make a load more money. But that's it for tonight, folks. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I thank everyone who has watched and been watching. I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye for now, folks.